I've been in network marketing now for 19 years, or at least I've been around it. I got started in 1995, and some of you have heard the story, so bear with me for those that have, but for those of you who haven't had the privilege of meeting yet, almost 20 years it's been around this profession, and I wanted to win, and I feel like I think a lot of people, I wanted to succeed. I just really didn't know how. I grew up in a family that did their best. Unfortunately, they didn't do well financially, but they worked as hard as they could. My mom worked 3 jobs, working like a maniac to keep food on the table. And now we never went without food. We didn't go without shelter or clothing. But we didn't have some of the nicer things. And I saw other people that were doing well financially. Maybe you can relate with this, especially if you grew up in a similar situation. I wanted to know, how do they do it? How do they achieve this phenomenal success? How do they have all these great things and I don't, or I can't? And it was difficult for me to comprehend. And in high school, I made a lot of mistakes. I'm sure wherever you are in the world, you have high school or something equivalent to it. And it's important, right? And no matter where you're in the world, I've learned that the whole idea is you can go to college and get a good education, end up going to get a good job somewhere and work for somebody. And one day, if you work hard, you can have a great life or live a dream of whatever your country is and have a quality lifestyle. I just messed up in school. I was one of those kids that just didn't get it. I think my brain was just slow or something. I wanted to do other things, and long story short, I didn't graduate. I remember watching my entire graduating class walk across the stage, and it was raining that day, and I remember looking up at God, going, "Really?" And I thought I messed up, and I ended up getting involved in this profession when I answered an ad in the paper and showed up at what I thought was an interview and ended up being a business opportunity presentation. And I didn't know if I could achieve success in anything, but when I saw some of these people winning, I saw some of these people achieving success, and I met them. I looked them in their eyes. I could see that there's some people that were like me, that made mistakes, but had found a new path, had found some mentors, some coaches, some people who were willing to pour information into them, and it had radically changed their life. And I made really a decision at that point that I was going to figure it out. And maybe that's where you're at. You're going, man, I'm just going to figure this out. I need to learn how. You see other people winning, and in the beginning, it almost seems like they're Jedis. They're super magical beings, and they're not. I'm nobody special. I'm no one better than anyone here on this webinar right now. I'm just an average person who decided to take an above-average challenge, find some mentors and some coaches, and that wasn't easy. I'll get to that in a moment. But I went on a journey, and I learned a lot of things along the way that changed my life, changed the way I thought. And a lot of these things I'm going to be teaching you and sharing with you over these next few weeks, next few months. And that's my goal. My goal is to share everything I learned about this profession with you, so you can take the same information, apply it into your life, and achieve the same results. Because I remember how it felt being in the audience, not really having any money, and I was young. I was like 17 when I first got started, and I looked like I was 12. Okay, and I grow this beard, so it makes me look a little older. I feel a little special. But when I seriously, I was like, a really young-looking kid, and no one respected me. I didn't think I could get anyone's attention. It was very difficult for me to achieve success, at least in my mind back then. And what I learned transformed things for me. It transformed things, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't simple. There was a process I went through, and that process I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share that process with you so you understand why do you want to be here, like I mentioned a moment ago. So you can learn. You can learn that, hey, you're not alone. Many people that have achieved massive success in this business have gone through what you've gone through, who are where you're at right now, didn't know if they could do it. I was certainly in that space. If you saw the video posted on my website, where you saw my wife and I struggling and going through challenges, I remember videotaping that because I thought to myself back then, people aren't going to believe the journey, because I'd already been successful before. I'd already gone from not having anything to having anything. And when I lost it all, I thought to myself, I'm going to be back. I know it because I know the skill set, but I want to prove it. I want to show people, because the one thing I didn't do in my first journey to the top was document it. I didn't. And a lot of times people thought that I was lying. They thought I was making up stories. So like, oh, that's a good story, wink, wink, nod, nod, but tell me what really happened. And that kind of saddens me in one effect, because it saddens me that there's so many shysters out there. There's so many scam artists. There's so many people that are just trying to get over on other people because they think that's the way to make money. And it's not. And that's why it saddens me. It also saddens me because it makes me think there's so many people that just don't believe anymore, don't believe they can succeed, or they believe the only way to succeed is by taking advantage of somebody else. And that is not the case. That is not true at all. And that was a big reason why I videotaped the second journey. Now, let me back up a second because I was going on the first journey. I'm a high school dropout, just figuring this thing out. And I learned things that changed my life, and it helped me become very successful in my 20s. I'm going to talk about that through the training process. And I'm going to give a little bit of information here today, but as we continue on these webinars, I'm going to be giving more and more information. It's why it's important to be on these live. It's why it's important to listen to the replays so you can kind of put this all together. Additionally, I'm going to be interviewing top leaders, top people live right here where you can answer questions or ask questions, get them answered from people that you may not have access to right now. And this is the platform I didn't have. I didn't have the ability to kind of go online and just meet people. Now, of course, you're going to be meeting us at the conferences, right? The Revolution Conference, which is coming up in America, in actually Phoenix, Arizona, here in November. You're going to want to make sure you're there, or excuse me, you're at that event, you're there and attending and meeting all the leaders. That was what I had to do in the very beginning. I just had to meet them through that, through those venues, and it's very important that you do. But here, through this venue, I'm going to be able to find out who the people are that really, really want it. And you know what I'm talking about. A lot of times people enroll in this type of business, and maybe they're just helping their friend. You know, they didn't really intend on getting started, or maybe they don't know why they should get started. And as they start learning and they start getting the information necessary for them to really make a commitment, at that point, maybe their sponsor left. Maybe the person who enrolled them in the business, they quit. And that's natural. It happens a lot. You know, in my first companies, that's what happened to me. I had people get started. They were all pumped up in the beginning, got me fired up, got me involved. And next thing you know, by the time I made my decision to really get committed, they were nowhere to be found. It was kind of like I looked around and I saw a tumbleweed, you know, rolling across the plain. And, you know, crickets. There was no one there. And I thought, if I could just get a mentor, if I could get someone who would really teach me how this business model really works, I'll do it. I'll do what it takes. I just need to know what to do. And if you're like me, I'm not a big hype person. I don't like the flashy stuff as far as you know, the over promises. I want the truth. What is it? What do I got to do? Tell me the reality, and I will do the thing until it materializes. If you're like that, if you're like me, I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to do, exactly how you can achieve the success you're looking for. Because one thing I know for sure is you didn't get involved with Seacret so you could become the best secret agent, or, you know, so you could you know, help as many people get the secret products. Now, that may be a reason, but the real reason you participated in the business side of things is to accomplish your goals. Isn't that true? I mean, think about it. You got involved because you saw a vehicle that can help you get to where you want to go. Now, of course, the vehicle is real for us because we see where the future of this company is going. We see that Seacret, which is a massive retail establishment, is already moving itself into the relationship marketing space, the space that you may be aware of or not. And if you're not aware of it, again, we're going to talk about that and talk about the benefit of that throughout this webinar. And if you are aware, then you know this doesn't happen. Okay, this isn't something that just happens often. There's a lot of companies in this profession, but there's none that I've ever seen in my near 20-year career now that's already had that much success in the retail space, genuinely selling their products, okay, at retail, in the high-end shopping centers, competing against like the big name department stores all around the world, and that just did over $1 billion, and now are shifting their entire model into this relationship sharing, this relationship marketing, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, and giving the consumer the deal, giving the consumer the discount. And then you and I, people who are sharing this opportunity with people, simply because we're sharing with our friends or the people that we love, they get a benefit from this discount. So of course they're going to want to do it. And when they buy the products that way, we get paid. We already know this. So this is huge. It's never happened before. That's why we have a massive opportunity. We know it. But the reason we're participating, the reason we're spending our time on a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon, if you're in Australia, is because why? We want to win. We want to succeed. We see other people winning. We see other people having the success. And And part of us knows it's true in our hearts. We know it. That's what keeps us coming. But another part of us in our mind says, it's not for you. You can't do that. No, it's only for these people. Or if you're like me, I had this little guy on my shoulder. You're always saying, that's a lie. They're just making the story up. And I read some unfortunate comments earlier on the email blast. People said, blah, blah, blah. And they're making all these negative comments. And, I wasn't mad at them. I just thought, how sad. How sad that you've given up on the idea that you can succeed. How sad that you've given up on the fact that your family does deserve more. And that if you choose the right vehicle at the right time, you can achieve extraordinary success. Extraordinary success. That's what Seacret's doing all around the world. And I'm putting this webinar together. I think am I losing some internet? Okay, I'm putting this webinar together for that reason. I want to help you position yourself to win as this company expands globally into your market, into your city, and into the cities and markets that are close to you, where you can now make a decision, start a series of actions, a series of daily disciplines that if you are consistent with, can position you in front of this trend and can help you achieve the same level of success that I've had or other people. Again, I'm not the best in this company, not by any stretch of the imagination. Okay? I don't have all the answers either. I've got a few things that have helped me make millions of dollars. And even hearing my voice say that, I'm looking at myself on the screen, I can't believe I can even say that. Because I remember, not too long ago, I was just praying to God, one day I could just pay my bills. One day I could just get out of debt. One day, if I follow this path, I hope I can win. Because it was a struggle. And here I am, enjoying this type of success, not because I'm better, not because I'm special, simply because I made the choice to follow quality content, find good mentors along the way, and stay consistent until it happened. Okay, so let me go backwards. I talked about kind of why you're on this webinar, what we're going to do, and kind of the vision of it. Again, the vision is very simple. My vision is to provide a platform where I can share content and information. I can find out who's serious. How am I going to do that? By your comments, by whether you're showing up or not. I can see the attendance list. I can see who's on there. I'm going to be very consistent with this, looking at it, reading through the comments. Okay, looking at who's showing up. I'm going to be also doing a series of additional webinars for private groups. So say you start rising up, making it happen. We'll be communicating as we do. You start to put a group together, I can help you. And my goal isn't to be the Yoda, to be the one that everyone listens to. My goal is to teach you enough so you don't need me at all. So you're doing this on your own. You're going and you're growing a big business as large as you want it. Okay, that's my genuine goal, because I got in this business, I think, like everybody else. To have time with my family, to enjoy my life. And that's my goal, is to teach you how to do this, be consistent with it, so you can have your goal. Now I'm going to be doing a series of webinars. You should see on your left of the screen there's actually a PDF on my schedule here. Wednesdays in North America. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard, I'm going to be doing a guest event. What does that mean? It's a recruiting event. It's where you can get prospects on, your friends, your family, the people that you love and care about, invite them on the webinar. And that webinar is simply going to be an introduction. Hey, how you doing? This is my name. I'm going to go through the opportunity information of Seacret. I'm going to show a little PowerPoint, maybe some video, and interact with your guests. Okay. Now, depending on how many guests are on the connection, will be how much time I'm able to spend on that webinar. But it should last about 30 minutes. I'm also going to be bringing on guests on that. You're going to be hearing from the CEO, Mr. Isaac Ben-Shabbat. You're going to be hearing from some of the partners from around the world. You're going to be hearing from some of the top leaders and their testimonial and why you should get started in Seacret, why they got started, what happened for them. That's what these webinars are going to do. They're going to bring it all to a platform. So if you have somebody in the market that doesn't have a live event, you can use this platform. You can use this as a way to introduce somebody. If they live, hundreds of miles away from the next local live event, or maybe even from the next local secret agent, hey, they can get on to the online community. They can get to know us. They can meet us. We can have some interaction. We can help them make a decision and give them a process where they can build their business and eventually maybe open up their own live events. And I envision this community to be growing on a consistent basis where we'll all meet up at the national conference here in Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm actually living. The Revolution, as it is. This is our international event, people coming in from all over the world. Really exciting times. And my goal is to do enough of these webinars where I can reach people that we wouldn't have normally been able to reach and invite them to that event. Okay, and my goal is to get them there, get people that you know, your friends, your family, do the best I can to share the vision of Seacret, to share my enthusiasm, excitement, bring others on that have the same enthusiasm, excitement, and allow them to share it. So your friend, your family member that you're trying to get to engage in Seacret with you because you know what's best for them, they see it and they say, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm showing up. I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to fly across the ocean, or I'm going to fly across the country to get to this event so I can see how Seacret can change things for me. That's my goal. Okay, and I'm going to be doing these on a consistent basis. I've made a decision. I'm not going to miss every Wednesday, again, 7 p.m. moving forward between now and the Revolution Conference. I'm going to be doing this. That's Pacific Standard Time for North America. For Australia, I'm going to be doing this on secretwebinars.com.au. Okay, you can come here, or you can go to secretwebinars.com.au. You're going to be hearing from other leaders from Australia on this webinar, and I'm going to be doing this consistently every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. your time. Of course, it's I think 2:30 my time in the morning. I'm happy about that. I'm going to be there. I can certainly make that time, and I'll be there consistently. Now, on both instances, okay, with both times, about 30 minutes after the conclusion of the webinar, of the guest event webinar, I'm going to do a training. And I'm going to spend about 30 minutes every single week, both in Australia and in North America. I'm going to be doing a training. It's going to be some basic information on what to do right away. This is designed for your new people, for the people who made a decision to get started that day. Maybe they showed up on the webinar, they connected, and they said, okay, I like this. I like what's going on now. What's next? Well, what's next is you get them enrolled on your website and you get them on this webinar, okay? If they can't be on the webinar, then follow the traditional protocol, which is getting them onto the Jumpstart video program and then into boot camp or into your local live event system. However, if they have the time, they can do it. I highly recommend you get them on there. We'll probably be able to spend some intimate time together. There won't be probably tons of people on the webinar. I'll be able to interact with them, talk with them personally, maybe answer their questions right then and there so they can see this is real. This is a real company. These are real people. It's not hype. It's not some people trying to get them into something. It's a community that's building something amazing, that's building something special that they can be a part of. Okay, so that's my goal with those trainings. Is 30 minutes of just some basics and answering some questions. Okay, once a month, I'm going to be doing an intensive leadership training. Okay, and I'm going to be doing this on a consistent basis for certain levels. Okay, it may be starting off at bronze and above, and then silver and gold. Okay, I'm going to be doing a series of these events. Please stay tuned for this on these webinars. We will be releasing that schedule and that information as time goes on. I'm going to be bringing on some of my mentors, some of my coaches. They'll be sharing some vital information, again, all within Seacret, all as it pertains to Seacret for your business. Okay, and there's some information as you develop and grow it's important for you to know at those times. It's not important to know that stuff when you're brand new. I know sometimes we want the trigonometry when we don't know basic math just yet. Well, let's wait for this trigonometry until you know basic math and you know algebra and you know all the goodies. That way, trigonometry makes sense. I hope that analogy makes sense, but okay, that's the stuff we want to bring. I want to bring high-level content for those of you that need it. So I'm reaching the whole spectrum. I'm reaching the people that are brand new, just getting started. I'm reaching some of you that have been around for a little while. You don't need the baby food anymore. You need some more material food. I'm going to have that for you. And then, of course, there's for the pros, the people that are maybe making 20, 30, 50,000 a month and want to take it to 100,000 a month. My overall goal in this program is as it's stated in the email. I am looking for 10 individuals that I can help mentor to $1 million a year. Now, I can confidently say that. I've done that. I've got people on the team that have done that. So I know for a fact I can help you do it. I know exactly what it takes. I've done it, okay? And I can help you do it too. Now, that's a whole nother level of a conversation, okay? But that's my goal. How I'm going to find those people is you're going to stand out. How are you going to stand out? You're going to be showing up consistently. That's how you do it. That's how I did it. Everybody raises their hand and says, oh, well, I want that. Well, I pick me. God bless you. I want to, believe me. There's only one of me, and there's a lot of time or a lot of people and only so much time in a day. I need to filter the process. Okay, and what that's going to look like for me is I need to see commitment. I'm willing to make a commitment for my family to be on these webinars. If you're willing to make a commitment from your family, all right, then we'll start talking, but we're going to see in time. I'm going to start setting up missions. Here's what we're going to be doing. Here's how we're going to be doing it. I'm going to watch and see who follows those missions. Once I find the people who are dedicated for real, I'm gonna be able to find you, take you aside, and spend some time with you. I don't care where in the genealogy you are, where in the company you are. My goal is to help 10 people get to 7 figures. My goal to do that in the next 2 years. I'm dedicated. I'm in the trenches full time. Let me just share this with you because we're going to be wrapping up here real shortly. I don't say this braggingly, okay? I'm trying to be humble about this, but I really know what I'm doing, okay? I really get this business. Most things I don't know about, okay? I'm trying to search for the right word, but the only word comes up is kind of an idiot sometimes in a lot of things. Okay, I'm not all that good with most things, but with network marketing, I've made it my study. I mean, I've studied this business. I've studied it for now almost 20 years almost. I really understand it. I understand human behavior. I get it. I've studied it for years. So understand, there's one thing I do know, one thing I'd like to say I'm pretty darn good at. It's network marketing. It's this business model. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to teach you what to do and how to do it over the period of time. Now, some of you may already know some of the stuff. Great. God bless you. Some of the stuff you may not know. And again, I'm not special. I just learned this from other people, applied it, and watched it transform my life as I know it can transform yours. Okay, so that's important to understand. I get this business. I know it, and I want to teach you how to do it too. And I'm looking for people that are serious. Because my goal, honestly, is I want to be one of the best in the profession. And the way to do that is I need to have at least, in the end of it, 20 personal people I've helped mentor to $1 million a year, minimum. Okay, that is what I'm looking to do. I will do that. I will find the people. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever. The only question you have to ask yourself is, are you going to be one of those people? Now, you don't have to pick me as a mentor or someone who's going to help you. You could probably do it without me. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I am saying I am one, and I can help you do it if you're willing to follow this process, if you're willing to follow this system, okay, and be consistent about it. Okay, that's one. Two, know this, okay, the first 2 years, almost 2.5 years, I ran as hard as I could. I've taken the last probably 6-7 months off, not off as far as not doing Seacret. I've just shifted my role into helping and doing a lot of other things and kind of relaxing a little bit because I ran so hard. Okay, I'm done relaxing. I'm done. Part of this webinar system is a statement of that. I am getting back in the trenches for 2 years. I've talked to Cindy about it and the family. We're all on board. I'm going to run like I did in the very beginning. And I'm going to tell you what I told all those people back then. Run with me now and you'll get to the top. If you watch me do it, great, God bless you. Okay, but don't complain. Okay, when I'm there a couple years from now, that hey, I wish you would have, told me. I wish you would have talked to me, because that's not going to work. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I'm going all in. I've just partnered with some serious players in the internet marketing space who have moved all their assets. Jason and Jenna, you'll get to know them here soon. These guys are quality marketers. They love Seacret. They are pushing everything in. There's some just amazing human beings. 1, 2, they're incredibly talented in the internet marketing space. In this type of space, they're going to be pooling their assets to help bring these platforms to you, and so you can win. They're also going to be building a massive team. They've also committed to being some of the people that are going to be making 7 figures a year combined. And with the other leadership in this great organization, you're going to be hearing from, again, not just me, some of the other incredible leaders that make me look good and have contributed to the success. You're going to be hearing from them. You're going to be hearing from a lot of people, okay, over the next few weeks and few months. So that's what's coming. Your job is just to participate and participate fully. I'm going to share that with you, and I'm going to close with the vision. This is the simple part. You have the calendar. Put a calendar up on your wall. Write down the webinars. If you are in a market that has local events, make sure you show up to those local events. This is not to replace the local event process. It can't. Okay, there's something that the dynamic about local events is key. It's paramount to success. It's critical to success. If you're in a market that has like local events, show up. Be consistent. Show up at those Seacret academies. Show up at those regionals. They're vital for that human interaction. If they're not in that area and one hasn't opened yet, then this is just as critical. Okay, until one of those opens, then you're showing up at that. Show up. Between now and then, your goal is to invite as many people on these guest event webinars as possible. Just ask people for their opinions. Say, I want you to see something. It's going to be live. There's a friend of mine, and by the way, I'm your friend if you didn't know it. I love you. And even though we may not have met personally, we're kindred spirits. We know each other because we're on the same path. We're on the same journey. And again, there's no difference between us, even if you're not making the money and having the success just yet. That's the only difference between us is time and activity. Time and activity. So you got to do the activity and be willing to do the time. And you'll have that same success. I promise you. I know it because I've watched it happen for so many people. And I want to watch it happen for you. In fact, not only do I want to watch it happen for you, I want to help it happen for you. Okay? So show up consistently and every day, every minute, think of who you can invite. Get someone on these webinars. Send out the email. Send out the text message. Most importantly, pick up the phone and talk to them over the phone. Get in front of them face to face. Put the products on them. Show them the business. Do the wow parties. Do the 5 and 5s. Do the business, and then get them on these webinars where they can meet some of the top leaders that are going to be doing the orientation, sharing the vision, explaining the importance of why they want to get started and why they want to get started now. This is vital. And then, of course, we'll interact and talk, and we'll help you build the business together. This is a team effort. Finally, in closing, folks, it is an honor, absolute honor for me to be here to share information with you. I'm honored beyond, really beyond my imagination. Okay, beyond my imagination to have this type of technology to reach out. I'm looking forward to getting to know you, but know this: whatever you think about in your mind will become your reality. I've got a lot of friends of mine. You know, they say they want success, they want this, they want that, right? Some even leaders that have made money in this profession. And they get stuck up and saying, well, you know, I'm putting out fires, you know, I'm just getting by, I'm just talking to people, blah, blah, blah. What? Man, you create your entire universe by your attitude. Your attitude, whether it's positive or negative. If you're positive, you're going to create an amazing energy around you. Create in your mind what you want to see. Okay? Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. That is a true statement. Right now, in your mind, be the leader. Be the 7-figure earner. In your mind, you're worth it. You deserve it. But you got to be it. Don't let negativity enter your mind for a second. Look, it's a new company. We're growing. Are we going to have challenges? You better believe it. There are going to be some issues. Yes, but they're nowhere near compared to the issues we had in the beginning when we didn't have a customer service department, okay? When we didn't have a kit, when products were showing up broken. Guys, let me tell you, the fortune everyone desires, everyone prays about, says, God, please give to me. That fortune belongs to the men and the women who can see the future before it becomes reality. Make it happen in your mind, and then let's go get it together. With that, guys, God bless. I'll stay on the line answering questions, but it's been an honor and a privilege. We're going to stop this broadcast now, and I'll be answering questions until it's all over. All right, thank you. All right, let me refresh this, guys. And thank you, by the way. Appreciate you all being here. And look forward to, again, these next guest events. They're going to be hot. We got some good people on the event here. All right. Let's see here. There we go. Hey, Dr. Ho! Dr. Ho's on here, yeah! I'm sorry. I've got a man crush on Dr. Howe, and just an amazing man, really, a remarkable human being. All right, thank you for doing this. This came at a perfect time. Answer my question. Appreciate you committing to doing everything you're asking, suggesting of us. I love this community, your passion, servant leadership. God bless you. Thank you. You know, it doesn't say the names in the comments, so if you'd be so kind, when you type a comment in, type your name just so I can know who you are and announce it. All right, Josh and Stephanie, you're going to be one of them. All right, I'm looking for that $5 million a year. Darren, that's fantastic, buddy. I'm looking forward to that success. I obviously know you can do that. These webinars are going to be recorded. You have choir practice. Yes, they are going to be recorded. And don't you worry, okay? They're recorded. You don't have to be on them live. We'll make sure they're up until the next webinar. So you got to get on it before the next webinar takes place, so to make sure that you're able to view the content. And of course, we don't want to take you away from choir practice, Bible study, or any of the things you do that are a staple in your family. This is designed to be around your family. But if you can be on live, make sure you are. You're in, all right. A lot of thank you stuff. All the Aussies, Patrick, you got a question. Why are you so awesome? Love you, Patrick. Thank you. You're awesome as well, brother. I love you, man. I miss you. I appreciate everything that you do for the community, brother. And thanks for sending me all the pictures, too. Okay, you've been there for a little while. How do you reapproach someone who had no interest before? Okay, this is a great question. I think a lot of us have it. How do you approach or reapproach someone that has had no interest before? Here's the best way to do it. Go back to them and say, listen, I'm sorry. I probably messed it up. Last time I tried to share a secret with you, look, do me a favor. Can you tell me what I did wrong? What did I do wrong? Like, what did I say something wrong? Because I'm just trying to learn. Again, I know you're not interested. That's fine. But help me out, man. Can I at least practice with you and show this to you one more time, and maybe you can point out what I'm doing wrong? Now, you got to have thick skin for this one, because sometimes people point out all the stuff you're doing wrong. That's okay. But a lot of times what happens is someone's going to tell you what you did wrong, and you can correct. You can adjust and maybe not get them back interested again, but you can help them to see it a different way and maybe help yourself to improve. A lot of times, though, you know what? Sometimes we're so enthusiastic in the beginning and we just kind of mess it up. I certainly did many times. And I had to go back and say, look, I'm sorry, I messed it up. I was just too excited. But, you know, I love you too much not to show you this again. And again, before you make your final answer, before you make your final decision, can I at least introduce you to someone that knows a little bit more than me, and maybe introduce him to your sponsor, or get him on a webinar like this? That's a good way to do it. Okay? A lot of great positive comments. Thank you so much. Excited. Okay. Look at all you wonderful people. Let me refresh again. Refreshing. So I can answer some more questions. Here we go. Let's see here. My name is Brianne. Okay, Brianne, good to see you. Thank you for all the thank yous. All right. Emma, yes, Emma, you want to talk one-on-one for sure. I'll look forward to that. Okay. A lot of you guys. All right. Oh, you know what I forgot? Listen, guys, I forgot the Spanish webinars. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. I think I put that up. Forgive me, guys. Spanish webinars. Jason, is that right, Jason? 6 p.m.? Yes, 6 p.m. North America. 6 p.m. North America on Wednesdays. Again, that would be Thursday at 11 a.m. in Australia. I don't know if you have too many Spanish speakers there, but if you do, we're only doing one a week for that, and that's just for the North American market, because there's a lot of Spanish speakers. And we'll be doing that. In fact, my wife, Cindy, has decided to do that. She does a dynamic presentation in Spanish. We'll also have a lot of other Spanish-speaking leaders on these webinars as well. So for all your Hispanic friends and Spanish-speaking family friends, people that you love, 6 o'clock on Wednesdays on the same channel, and you'll get a great dynamic presentation as well. Okay, let's see here. I really appreciate all this. How much time should we honestly use to build a massive business on a weekly basis? Austin Simpson says, how much time should we build on that's a great question, Austin. It all depends on you. Depends on how much time you got to the business, how much you want to invest in your business, and how far you want to go. In the beginning, I was full-time, really, because I was broke. I didn't really have an option of getting a job. In fact, I didn't allow that as an option in my brain. Not that that's the best for everyone. It was the best for me. But I worked probably 16 to 18 hours every day, every single day. I worked like a maniac in building my business. But then again, my goals are $12 million to $15 million a year. That's my goal in the profession. Okay, and my goal within my first 2 years was 7 figures. I wanted 100 grand a month within my first 2 years, and that's what I was willing to pay that price. Now, the good news is anybody can pay that price. Anybody can do that. Now, if you have a career, you have a job, a business that you're already running, or obligations for your family, look, don't radically shift everything. You don't need to. Start part-time. And the time you have available, whatever you have to allocate to Seacret, invest all of that time into building your business on a weekly basis. So if you can allocate 10 hours a week outside of your spiritual obligations, your family obligations, your business obligations, or career obligations, and you can allocate 10, all 10 hours should be in building Seacret. And most of that hours, 80% of it at least, should be in getting in front of new people and getting them either on webinars like this, live events in your local area, or in front of the video, or wow parties, of course, 5 one-on-ones, putting product on people. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Let's see. More questions. Let me refresh. Webinars, yes. Send them this link is fine for the webinars on Wednesday. This link is fine, the one that you got before. I'll be constantly posting on Facebook. I'll be promoting it every week, but this link, we'll get them there in North America, joshuadenne.com. In Australia, Seacret Webinars, SEACRECT webinars.com.au. We'll get you there for the Australian ones, and of course I'm going to post all this stuff and send it all out in an email here real shortly, so know that you'll have that content. All right. Lots of thank yous. I really thank you for that part. Okay, let me do one more refresh, folks, and it looks like we're going to be wrapping it up. Let's see if we can do maybe a live group chat here in the future, but for now, this is how we're doing it. All right. Okay, here's from Mike Calloway from Maryland. How did you dedicate yourself to this business, and what did you do to focus on the business considering your family and job circumstances? Great question, Mike. Great question. And he's asking, for those of you that don't know, some of my circumstances earlier where I was financially devastated. I kind of failed business after being successful for a long period of time, went about $1 million in debt, and destroyed my credit, lost my real estate, lost my cars, ended up getting evicted out of an apartment that I was living in with my wife, who was pregnant with my second daughter and a 1-year-old. And my electricity was getting turned off all the time, and my cell phone was getting shut off. So how do you be positive in those situations? It's very easy, Mike. I borrow from the beauty of tomorrow to pay the price of today. I create in my mind the future I desire to see. I focus on that and only that, and I work diligently towards that end. If I focus on what's now, that's all I'm going to get. In fact, I'm probably going to go backwards. People focus on one of 3 things, right? People focus on the past, and they're usually negative and unhappy. Focusing on the past. Okay? People focus on the present, where it is right now, the circumstances right now. And don't confuse this with being in the present. Yes, be in the present. Be here now. Be focused now in the present moment, but don't focus on the circumstances of the present moment. Okay? Instead, focus on the circumstances of the future and work diligently now towards that end. So that's, I know it's harder to do than it is to say. And I'm saying it right now, and it's hard, but I've got a library behind me, folks. I study, but then I do, and I do, and I do, and I don't allow in my mind the possibility of negative thinking or the possibility of defeat, period. You can create that same resolve in your mind If you're willing to just do it, folks, snap out of it. You control your mind. God gave it to you, right? He made it masterful, and you have it. If you're not used to doing it, that's okay. Just recognize that and then practice, practice, practice. Visualize your future. Read the books, listen to the tapes. And so when the programming goes into the brain, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between reality and fiction. Create the fiction you want to be your reality, okay? May only be fiction or some pipe dream today. That's okay. It won't be in the future. Create it. Visualize it. Think about it. And walk towards it every day. And one day you'll wake up and look around and go, oh my God, look at this. I'm here. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. And it's not just for the money, folks. It's for the mind. It's for what it makes of you to do it. Anyway, that's a great question, Mike. Hope that helps. So if you knew now what you knew starting off, what would you do differently to build your team, to grow your business, to see your success that you now have? And that's from Jaime Camacho. What's up, buddy? Glad you're on the line. Love you. You know, I would have probably started these technology things earlier. I don't know why I didn't. I guess no excuses. That's probably the only thing I would add to my my repertoire. I would have made a consistent webinar where I can reach more people on a consistent basis. I think it would have served the community and the team much better. But that's about it. That's about it, really. I'm proud of everything I did. I feel good about it. I just think I lost a lot of people through the cracks by not having a centralized system to have people come to. That's it. And again, we can talk offline too if you want. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Let's see. I have a nail tech that filled out her new associate paperwork and does not want to write down her SSN. Is there something I can say to her, ease her concerns? Roger from El Paso. Yeah, Roger, look, the way I get the social is I go, look, this is a secured site. You can enter it in yourself, but any place that's going to pay you with a check needs your taxpayer ID. It's the federal government. It's not us, not the company, the government's rules. But if you want to get a check, which I'm sure you do, important to put the social in. And they'll typically do it after that. Just, you know, if you have an iPad or an application, you know, just usually with online stuff, it's a secured site. Have them go there and you go, look, I won't look, and they can type it in themselves. But just say, look, it's how they pay you. That's how they have to. They have to report to the federal government. So, you know, if you want to get paid, you got to put the social in. And I rarely have ever gotten a objection after that. Okay. What are some cold prospecting ideas and techniques? Look, I'm going to be putting cold prospecting and techniques in future webinars. I appreciate the question. Don't have time for today. There's a lot of content there. So for cold prospecting and leads, this type of thing, I have a full program for that. Just stay tuned. Yes, 6 p.m. No, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard. I'm sorry, 6 p.m., Sean. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the Spanish, 8 p.m. Central. 1 hour prior to the North American English-speaking ones. And no, you don't need to be in my downline to take advantage of these trainings. If you are a secret agent, you are welcome to all this free content. Again, I know a lot of people charge for this type of thing. I'm not charging. The only thing that I'm asking you to do is follow the program, okay? Go out there and do it. I'm asking you to succeed. Your price will be paid in the battlefield, so to speak. Your price will be paid in the field of honor, out there working it, making it happen. That's where your price will be paid, and my reward will be watching you cross that stage, acquiring the success. So there's that. Conrad has made the choice to be a 7-figure earner. Right on, Conrad. Let's see. Is there such a thing as a dead market area for Millie? I don't think so. Not with Seacret. I don't. Look. I hear this in my career. People say, well, you know, my people think this way, or this market's like this, or you don't understand the culture's like this. Guys, everything you do is in your brain. Okay, study human behavior. Study it. Just study the greats who've succeeded. And you hear almost the same thing over and over and over again. The dominating thoughts of your mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action. I Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill said that, right? So if you're thinking to yourself, well, this is a dead market, guess what you're going to get? A dead market. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, this isn't going to work, you know, my friends aren't going to do it, Well, guess what's going to happen? Your friends aren't going to do it. Okay? Think to yourself what you want to create and stay focused on that. I don't think there's any dead market. I'm just moving. I'm just moving and moving and moving. And my whole goal is to find the people that are like you, okay, that are like me, that see it, that want to do it, that are excited about life. And you do that through the process, okay? And get them on these events and watch them succeed. By the way, I appreciate all the wonderful text messages and emails, okay? Oh, hello, as a beginner in the network marketing business, how do I harness the energy of my social media without being viewed as just another get-rich-quick scheme? Thank you for all your insight. This is from Ebony. Hey, Ebony, you're my brother. Look, man, the way to harness your social media, I'm not the best expert at this. I'm going to be having, I might actually going to be asking Jason and Jen, who are social media experts, to be talking about this subject in a future webinar. But the reality is that, just be honest with people. Just talk to them. Guys, I found something remarkable. Have more interaction. A lot of the typical people who are the scammers, they're just blasting stuff out through text messaging, messaging apps on people's walls and just hoping someone's going to show up because they don't want to go do the work. The real work is human interaction, talking with someone, finding out what's going on in their life, reading their wall, spending some time figuring out them and figuring out what is important to them and showing them why Seacret is an opportunity for them to get that, or why being on a webinar like this is going to help them get what they want. Okay, so that social media you can harness and funnel into a webinar system like this, okay, and eventually get them into the live events and the corporate events by simply getting to know who they are, finding out what's important to them, and letting them know that if they get on this webinar, they're going to get closer to where they want. Okay, that human interaction is a big deal, and again, Jason and Jen, who are masters, they are going to be on a future webinar explaining a little bit more about the social media aspect. All right. What's a good way to approach someone that you know could use the age-defying products without offending them? That's a good question. That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't really do that. So you'd probably be better getting advice from somebody else. My wild guess would be saying, telling them a story of somebody else that's had success. You go, hey, if you're in conversation with them anyway, go, my friend so and tell a story. Like my mom, for example. My mom has been using the Green Line products, and man, it looks like 10 years. She looks 10 years younger. Her skin's much more plumper. She's 60 now, and she's she's at that point where she's wanting to look younger, and she's amazing. She's an amazing woman. She feels great. She just wants to look the way she feels, and she started using this age-defying product that just, man, shaved like 10 years off her life. It's crazy. I just say that story. Now, if they're interested, they're going to say, well, tell me more. I mean, then they'll probably point it out. Look, do you see this? They can fix this stuff. And I get that a lot from people. I don't know, man. All I know is this stuff's awesome. Check it out. And then get them to buy it, get them to be at PC. Anyway, I hope that helps. Once you get someone's attention that you don't know from an online post, how do you start off your conversation with them to get them excited about what you do? This is from Jasmine. Jasmine, again, if you're getting to know someone on an online post, okay, and again, I'm going to have some experts talk about this because this is not my forte, okay? I'm just doing the webinars. Don't let this stuff fool you, okay? I'm not the tech-savvy person, but I know people. And with people, what it boils down to is finding out what's important to them. That's all it is, really. Find out and really be genuinely interested in them. If they have on their post that, they want to be a singer, songwriter, and they can't because they're working like two jobs, one as a waiter and one as a bartender at night, and I just talked. I was like, hey man, tell me a little bit about your music career. I saw on your page that you said that you really love writing music. Is that true? Yeah, man. You watch them light up. I love it. Go look, if you could find a way to help you do that more, maybe get or ask him another question. Say, well, what would it take for you to spend more time on that? Well, I'd have to get rid of one of these jobs. Well, how much money would it take? I mean, what would you have to make on a part-time basis to get rid of one of the jobs? Well, they'll tell you. And then just simply say, look, if I could show you a way to make that kind of money part-time, to free you up to pursue your music passion, would you be interested? They may say, sure. Go, look, I don't know if it's for you or not, but check out this webinar. All I know is tell stories. Like this person's winning, this person's winning, this person's winning. That's it. Get them on the webinar. Anyway, that's my answer. What's the best way to get through an agent that doesn't want to follow the system and thinks they can do it their own way? From Darren from Virginia. It's the best way I have is I find someone that they respect. Like whether it's Isaac Ben Shabbat or it's John Malott, Tiffany Malott, it's Josh Wiles, it's Tommy White, it's Derek Gilson, it's whoever it is that they respect. Just say, you know what, and maybe call them first so you can say it, or if you've heard them say it before, the system, and all of them said follow the system. Just go, my friend, my friend Derek Gilson, this is what he says. He always, and just tell him what you want to tell your distributor that's not following the system. Tell them that Derek said it, and they'll probably listen to it. And that's the best way I do it. So Isaac Ben Shabbat, this is what he says. He says, look, the people who follow the system are the ones who win, and that's why I'm following the system. Let's just try it this way for a little while. There's no harm, no foul, and we haven't tried it yet. Most of the time, the people, and I say that because most people that aren't following the system have never really tried it because they think they can do it their own way, and just try to get them to go that direction. Meanwhile, don't get hung up on this stuff. Just go to work. Go, just keep talking to people. Keep going through it. Find the ones who do see it like you and do want to follow the system. Yes, the webinar is going to be recorded. Okay. Greer says, please tell them the importance of edification in 3 ways instead of doing it all by yourself. Aussies don't have the concept mastered just yet. Yes, three-way calls and edification are vital, regardless of what market you're in. They're important. The good news about what we do in Seacret is we build each other up. Always building somebody else up, letting somebody else take the glory, that's fine. Build them up because it'll help you get your prospect to listen. Everybody, all of us, we're more interested in talking to someone we believe in our mind can help us succeed than we are, our best friend. Okay, it's just what it is. Again, this is a whole nother training. We're going to go on to this about human behavior and three-way calling and third party. This is going to be a whole nother webinar training topic, but it's very important. Build somebody else up. Let other people talk to other people. Again, if you're just talking to me and you show me the information, that's fine. You're one person. Introduce me to a Josh Wiles. Introduce me to someone else who's in the marketplace. Introduce me to as many people as you can. Introduce me to Patrick. Introduce me to Jesse. Introduce me to Patty. Introduce me to more people so I have a different perspective and I have more social proof so I get it more. Hope that makes sense. All right. How do you answer the question? How much money do you make when you aren't a six-figure earner? That's a good question. Stacy Zimmer, by the way, I love you, Stacy. I hope you're still on, but how do you do that? That's very simple. Look, when I was brand new getting started, I was broke, as I mentioned earlier, completely broke. So people ask me how much you're making. I'm like, listen, man, I'm just getting started. All I know is I'm going to make millions here. I'm going to make millions. I'm going to do that no matter what. I see it clearly. And so that was my declaration. I'm going. And they go, look, it's not about me because, look, maybe you do things better than I do. I don't know. All I know is, like, what do you want to do? How do you want to succeed? Because I know what I want. I'm going for it. And I just want to help you because you're my friend. That's all. I'm not trying to get you into something. It's not about what I'm doing and what I'm making. It's about you. Okay? I'm going to introduce you to people that are doing extraordinarily well. I'm going to do it. I promise you. I'm going all the way. And I'd love you to come with me. That's how I do it. Okay, how do you follow up with people you sent samples to? Brad. Well, Brad, I just call them up and say, hey, did you get the sample yet? I say, yes, good. Did you try it? Okay, great. I walk it over the phone. Maybe you can do something online like this, like a FaceTime or a Google Hangout or some kind of video where you can see them and help them walk them through the process and explain a little bit about it and then get them on a webinar, okay, or get them out to a live event. What should I do if my sponsor has left the business? Keep going. Keep moving. God, thank your sponsor. God bless your sponsor for bringing you here, but you just keep going, okay? My wife and son are all doing Seacret. My question is, should we log in under our own, or is it okay to watch as a group? I would do it as a group, Leo. Put everyone together, man. The more the merrier. I promise you, it's important. If you can get more people together and being in the unity, and you guys can talk about it, there's something in this business about people being with people being together. It's a synergy. It's an energy. It's important. So leverage that. Okay. I really appreciate all your kind comments, guys. I'm only just trying to read the questions, but I'm going to read every one of these, guys. I am looking forward to working with each and every one of you. All right, one more refresh, folks, and I'm going to probably shut this down because we're getting close to the hour here. And again, Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. Send me a private message, okay? And we can keep the questions going, so I know it's you, and I'm here to help you, okay? Joshua Denne, Facebook, facebook.com/Joshua Denne, JOSHUADENNE, just like my website. Or hit me up on the website through email. I'm here. I want to help you. All right, so here we go. Last refresh. Here we go. Find out where we were last. Wow, there's a lot of questions. Okay, guys. And then we get to it. Oh, it's 8. 8? Really? It's 8 o'clock? Is it Spanish webinar? Okay. Forgive me. I guess it's 8. Is that what the PDF says? Whatever the PDF says, follow that. Please. And I'll make sure we're on this one at 6, just to make sure everyone knows it's on at 8. So, thank you. Any advice to agents too afraid to go jump? Do it. Look, you know where it's going to be if you don't do it. You already know what your life's going to look like if you don't. Don't you want to see what it's going to look like if you do? I mean, you live once, guys, one time. Go after it with everything you got. Well, I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to fail a bunch of times, and it's going to lead you towards success. I don't know a successful man or woman who hasn't failed 100,000 times, okay? If you show me someone who's never failed, then I'll show you a failure. Show me who's failed 1,000 times, and I'll show you that same person's a success, okay? So that's my suggestion there. It seems like we're always building and rebuilding our foundation. We found a few that stayed while eventually fell away. Are we shorting in the wrong places? One of our challenges is continually growing our existing agents to events. What can we do to find quality people that are not afraid to help others and make money along the way? We're consistently looking for new people. We're not quitters. We're here for the long term. We're still very much excited about Seacret. And this is from George. Hey, George. Man, listen, buddy. The thing about it is you're going to go through a lot of people. You know, because a lot of people quit. Why? Not because it's hard. It's just they quit. I mean, take gym memberships. Okay? Most people quit the gym. They sign up. They pay money. They're enthusiastic about getting in shape, and then they never show up, ever. They quit. Why is that? I don't know. But all I do know is there's people who show up and work out. All right? And the same thing in this business. I'm just looking for the ones who show up and keep showing up. The best way to keep people is just become friends. Really find out what matters to them and help them get there. Care about them. Care about them genuinely. Help them, talk with them, and help them win. And a lot of people just stay around just because they're your friends, and maybe they don't really want to win. When the man or woman gets it in their heart and starts burning that desire, they'll go do what it takes, okay? And that's what we're looking for. Looking for the ones who are just going to go do it, and we'll do it with them, okay? Sydney here. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you, Jenna. Let's see. Only 20-minute appointment with Fabulous Doctor, who alternative natural approach, treatment, but negative about multi-level network. What can I achieve for the short 20 minutes, and how do I let him accept Seacret products? This is a good question. I would tell Dr. Ho's story. Dr. Ho's a board-certified surgeon and a professor at UCLA, and he was, it's not that he was negative about network marketing. He just wasn't into it. He didn't get it. He wasn't interested in it. And a lot of people have a preconceived notion, which is okay. And just be upfront with them. Go, look, I know you have a negative idea about this, and that I understand because there's a lot of junk out there. Well, let me share with you why this company chose it. It wasn't a network marketing company. That's not what they were. They were retail. And they were selling these high-quality products. And they used the model, the network marketing model, to be able to save the consumers money, because they were taking the product that was sold at, say, $100 down to $60 or $50, saving the consumer money. And a lot of people see that. That's the only reason they're going in this direction. Now, also, they're able to share the wealth with the people who are helping to build a customer base. And Doc, you see a lot of customers and your patients, and as they buy the products, you can start to build a nice book of residual income from this company, because they pay, and they pay real well. So I would start with that and just talk about how he can win with it. Talk about how he can succeed, and if there's other doctors, other people in his peer group that have decided to, show him the video with Dr. Ho in it. That'd be my suggestion. Let's see. Sam, I'm looking forward to getting your ring too. All right. Let's see. You guys are awesome. What do you do if you have no family and not a lot of friends? From Rosie. That's also a good question. Rosie, listen. You have a lot of friends, or not a lot of friends, not family. I just suggest start making some. Okay. Go to networking events, meet some people online. Do whatever you got to do. This is a people business, so you're going to have to meet people at some point. So just make friends. It's simple as saying hi to people and being interested in them. That's how we make friends. You may know that. I don't mean to be patronizing at all, but when you get to know people, just find out about them. They'll talk all about them, and they'll eventually become your friend because you're interested in them. Okay, and then show them the business. And don't only be their friend so you can kind of rope them into the business. That's not what you're trying to do. You're genuinely being a friend. I have a whole training we're going to talk about in the webinar process about this, friends first and whatnot. Again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. A lot of good content coming up. You have to be on these webinars in the future. But just make friends. Let's see. I'm not giving up on you, Travis. I love you, buddy. Mr. Isaac Ben Shabbat. Hey, buddy, I'm still on this webinar. Everyone's saying hi to Isaac right now. Okay, buddy, I'll call you back as soon as we're done. Love you. All right. All right. All right, Tino. When sending guests to Wednesday night webinars, do I need to send them to the site? I already talked about that. Yes, send them to this site. What book is the one you would keep if you had to give all your other books away? The Bible. For sure. That's from Virginia. And the second one would be, if I could keep two, the other one would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all your wonderful comments. You guys are awesome. All right. If you want to give the GoPro book to people, that's a great book. I love it. It's great foundational information on network marketing. Certainly give it away if that's. Another book I like is Appreciation Marketing by Tommy White and Curtis Lucy. Great book. Great book. But Network Marketing Pro is a good book. Okay, Christine Lee. You're going to have your questions on September 14th. All right. Yes, you can, Christine. You're going to be one of the top people for sure. That's all the time I have for questions, guys. Listen, and I don't think I'm getting any more anyway, but private message me on Facebook, okay? I'll stay on there as long as it takes to answer your questions. I want to make sure I'm with you. I'll spend the next few hours doing that. If you have questions, please make it as it pertains to the business. Okay. Throughout the rest of the week, I don't use my Facebook that much. So if you're getting me on off hours outside of these webinars, I probably won't get back to you right away. But I've dedicated this time, moving forward on these Wednesdays, and moving forward to be 100% available to each and every one of you, and to make sure your questions are answered and you're pointed in the right direction. So with that, guys, what an honor. Thanks for being on the first webinar of the series, and I am looking forward to sharing this content with you. I'm looking forward to your success. Let's make it happen together. God bless.